Hey, welcome back everybody. We are back in Path of Exile, and today we're going to be leveling up a new build. I had a hard time figuring out what I wanted to play next. I tried a Flicker Strike using the sword we made, and I really just didn't end up liking it. This sword is one that we made, and I really just didn't end up enjoying it. I tried to do a strength stack angle, and it has potential to be really good, but I didn't like the way it felt to play, so ended up giving up on that one. But I think what we want to do is, quite some time ago, I attempted to make a mana stack Bladefall of Trarthus, and I recently saw a video of somebody doing it in standard fairly successfully. Now the things that they were using in standard are entirely unachievable. Like there's no way to get the items that they were using, but I wanted to see how far we could push it in a normal league, and so I think that's what I want to do. So standard procedure here, we're gonna go and grab Righteous Fire level 16 and use that to get through the campaign. And then we're going to start stacking mana and use Bladefall of Trarthus and Blade Vortex is the overall plan for leveling through the campaign, or for our build. We'll see how all that works. I'm not sure. I have only like a super basic idea of how it might work, but we'll have to figure it out. It'd be a lot of fun. Okay. We need to go down here. Okay. All right, and I think we need a couple more levels because I messed around in the early levels and didn't level straight to the stuff we need for Righteous Fire. Oops. I'm still trying to figure out if I want to go Mind Over Matter on this build. I feel like it won't be like it'll just be a good thing early on, but I don't know if the late game version is going to use it. Okay. Okay, probably just not worth. Okay. And so we are level 16, which gives us the ability to equip everything. What do we want here? I think we're gonna use mana infused staff. Probably not, no. Okay, there's Righteous Fire. And that's it. Okay, to our hideout. Do you have suffixes? No. Purchase. Okay. Need to go to Act 1. Just make my life a little easier. Oh, I can't use that anyway. Okay. Unique amulet. Paper seed should be really nice. Gloves don't matter, honestly. And neither do 1,000 ribbons. Let's see. Any body armors that are good? No, not really. Okay. Gamble. Actually, a shield would be super nice. Okay, got one with fire res. Nice. That one has 39 life and fire res. Hold on. Use that one instead. All those. Hmm. All right, we'll do this one. And fire resistance. Okay. Now we want efficacy. Where is increased AoE? Oh, it's way over here. Okay. All right. About all we can do then for now. That's not true. Hold on. Currency. Gamble. Scepters. Hold dot multi. I got 3 cold dot multis. Who knew? Alright, let's just grab one. That one will work. Come on. I want fire dot multi. There we go. Then higher. Should still be fine? Yeah. Okay. Need some regrets. Okay. All right, let's do this. Okay. Alright, so we're good there. We could do AoE. I think instead we're just gonna go grab Hardy. And then we'll start going for mana stuff. There we go. And grab the waypoint. And then we just need to find the camp. There we go. Perfect. I wonder what kind of mind spirals I can get this league. I'm gonna have to do some thought on kind of mind spiral we should get. Okay. All right, I'm curious. Mind spiral. We want vestigial. Let's see, level of socketed spells have a chance to deal level damage. Adds for each curse, increased LE res, increased strength. Socketed gems. Pain attunement. Maybe. Maybe. Hmm. Lightning is extra cold per 2 shock effect. This might be good. I think. No, never mind. Never mind. Pain Attunement might be the best one. Four level of Socketed Herald is pretty wild. Onslaught on kill. Okay, I think Pain Attunement is the one we want. Can we get a Pain Attunement? 15. There's a gain 15. Thought I saw gain 15. There it is. Okay, let's do this. Pain Attunement, mana 115, 14. Go. 2 div, 1 div. We found the mind spiral we want. Think.
It's a gilded wonder.
Yeah, 37. Gonna tickle them toes. Hey, what's up? How's it going? How's it going? What are you doing? Leveling up a new character. I think we're gonna go mana stack Bladefall of Trarthus. That is the current plan. I have no idea how well it's gonna work. It seems feasible. But we'll see how good we can actually get it. I'm also really, really bad at stacking. Like any build that has stacking involved, I feel like I'm awful at. Like anytime I try and do a strength stack or int stack, I feel like it goes terribly. Maybe this time. Are you not losing HP right now? So in order to level with Righteous Fire, easiest way to do that is using the mastery. So this mastery right here, so you pick up fire mastery, is regen 1 life per 1 uncapped fire res. And then you just stack as much fire res as you can get on your character. So fire resistance, fire resistance, fire resistance, all LA res, which is including fire res. And so I end up with what, 182 fire res, which means I have 182 flat life regen, not including vitality, which I have. And so I way more than make up for the degen of Righteous Fire. The Righteous Fire is my favorite way to level, because I can stop thinking. Because it scales really nicely up until like Act 4. And then some classes can't really handle it after that. I think Hierophant can, but I feel like we'll be able to switch over to Bladefall by that point. I wish this was me with my build stuck in Act 6. Oof. Using Soul Rend. Soul Rend can be rough to level with. Grand Life. I have no clue how to make it better except for leveling up my gem. I don't know. I'm not sure on Soul Rend. I haven't played very much of it. And you can do chaos damage, and Soul Rend is the damage over time one, right? So you can probably do damage over time multi. Probably. Let's see. While I'm letting those guys try and kill me, I'll see if I can pull it up. Soul Rend. Turns towards piercing through, hits and damages. Yes, it does chaos damage per second. So the real question is, are you trying to scale the damage, the damage over time portion? You're using Reaping, okay. Deals chaos damage and leeches. Okay, so no, you're not doing damage over time. So best bet, if you've not done so already, go ahead and grab any of the chaos stuff you can. So there's a chaos wheel here, there's a chaos wheel here, there's a chaos wheel here, This one will be really nice because it gives you pen. And then... maybe go for some crit. But even that is going to be a little rough in the beginning. What is the base crit chance of reaping? Oh, base crit chance is 10%. That's not too bad. Not if you get staves. Okay, so yeah, I would go here. Grab this crit chance while you're wielding a stave, and probably this arcane potency. And maybe head your way over to atrophy. Other than that, you're going to need pretty generic spell stuff. But yeah, there are some actually like surprisingly good staff nodes, like right here and right here. And then if you have any mana stacking at all, you can get spell damage per mana. Spell damage while wielding a staff right here. Multi doesn't do anything for me? No. Multi doesn't do anything for you because you're not doing damage over time. So there's damage over time multi here, but reaping doesn't have a damage over time component. So the soul rend of reaping specifically gets rid of the damage over time component. So you're doing hit damage only. The multi doesn't do anything, but crit multi does. Which is why you want this stuff, because you want critical strike multi. You can also pull it up in POB, like import your own character in POB, and then just down at the bottom right hand corner right here, show node power. And that'll show you some things that are valuable to you. So that can help. I should low-key use Soul Rend first and then swap to Reaping. It might be better, but I don't know. I don't know enough about Soul Reap to give you much help there. Outside of like, you know, where to scale chaos damage and spell damage with staves. You can always grab the minion support stuff. Damn it, okay. Exemplar. Ellie Focus. Okay. Head done. Welcome back. Okay, so just thought about it. There is some generic damage scaling that basically anybody can get if they're on the top side of the tree. You don't really usually need it unless you've got a build that doesn't scale super well or doesn't have a whole lot of scaling options. But right here is a node called Spiritual Aid. So like top left, right here, this minion node. So Spiritual Aid is something that I use on quite a few of my builds. And it means that increases and reductions to minion damage also affect you. And so you get 16% damage here, 20% here, 10%, 10%. And then you've got another vector of scaling that you can use. So that might be worth looking into if you're having trouble finding damage. Hope it works out for you. There's a bunch of minion stuff around which there is, but they're not all worth it. So really, my recommendation is to just grab these, like, one way or the other. Like, go either this way or this way. I usually prefer this way because you get 1% life regen out of it. But I'll go grab these 5 nodes. And then what I'll do is I'll craft on minion damage or use an Essence of Fear on my staff. And that is 100% damage or something like that. And my golem can actually do something now. They still won't do very much, sadly. Sadly, they still won't do very much. Yeah, that's one of the curses of Path of Exile, is that anything you're not scaling on purpose kind of falls by the wayside. And so while your golems are going to be helped out by the minion damage, because you're not using support gems on them, or most likely you're not using support gems on them, their damage is not going to be relevant compared to your main skill. Good enough? Fair. It does add up. Okay. Never did spells before. Well, I hope you enjoy them. They're a little bit of a different way to think about the game. One nice thing though is you don't have to worry about accuracy, which is super nice. But a lot of it is going to boil down to gem level scaling. If you're not using some other, like, flat added damage, then gem level scaling is going to be your best friend. And so, you know, talking about your staff, you want plus level all chaos. And it's going to be like one of your most important mods. Okay. think we go this way now. Start heading for our mana. What was that? So when it comes to spells, most of the time, the most important damage scaling vector you have is gem levels. So the most important mod on your staff will be plus level all chaos. Not that. Before that? Ooh, no clue. My memory does not go back that far. Yeah, I don't have a great memory. It's a real problem. Something new with accuracy? Oh yeah. So one nice thing about spells is they don't care about accuracy at all. Spells always hit. There is no accuracy roll. Spells can't be evaded. They can be suppressed, but that's a 50% damage, not like miss. So you do not need accuracy at all, unless you're going cast on crit. If you're going cast on crit, then you still need accuracy. It's fire? Yeah. Okay. Okay. All good there. I got bit by an ant and started using something orange. Something I need to get checked for, bro. I have no clue. Definitely not a doctor. Okay. Let's see. Ivory Tower, I think is what I want to end up using. Instant poison, rarity, brutal, rarity. I guess I could go rarity. Lol, death aura. Brutal, rarity, lesser brutal. Up to max endurance when you take a critical strike. Is taken as fire. You know what? Yeah, we'll go with that. You know, there's a spider that can amputate your arm by rotting it and making it usable. And if unchecked, can damage your organs. I'm pretty sure you're talking about a brown recluse. And yes, I did know that. Although that level of... yeah, that level of toxicity is extremely rare. Most cases are not that bad. Even untreated. But it is a necrotoxin. And so there is a lot of fear surrounding it. But most of the time it just hurts. Chaos. Yeah, it is scary, but fortunately the spiders themselves are very timid, and most of the time the bite is not that bad. All right, sick. We got the 6 link. That was quick. It's taking his fire. Yeah, cool. Go to the Sovereign.
How you been? Speak. Want something? Just say the word.
Ooh, I don't have enough. All right, that's fine. We'll do that later. Love how you 6-linking on the 6th try. It was like the 200th try, but yeah, it was really fast. It was in fact really fast because I had 1600, I think, orb of fusings. Ran through 200 and you've yet to get one. So the odds of getting one are roughly 1 in 1200. So if you are feeling lucky, you can do that. If you are not feeling lucky, there is a craft for it. So right here, you can get 6 sockets for 350 jeweler's orbs, and you can get 6 links for 1500 fusings. So if you don't want to risk it, you can do this. On average, you have about 1 in 12,000. Something that is worth noting is for these, you can, I think it's control shift, and then hold left click, and it will continuously use them, which is why that looked so fast. It's because I use them constantly with Control Shift left click. And you just hold it down. It doesn't make it any cheaper, but it does make it easier to do on your hands. We use X on console. Oh, okay, well, then you guys have had it easy forever. It was a really big deal when they did that in for us. Do I have another Bladefall of Trarthus? I do have a Bladefall of Trarthus. And it's even level 1. Nice. Y'all got the best organization? Because of the mouse? Yeah, that's true. Mouse and keyboard is the best. Honestly, they took out the main thing that I wanted to use a controller for, and was never willing to use a controller because they don't have hot swapping. But what were they called? I've forgotten the name of them now. What were they called? They used to drop fracturing orbs. And they took them out of the game. I can't remember. Anyway, they dropped huge stacks of like currency. And you would have to click like 20 times to pick everything up that they dropped. It was awful. I still liked playing it because I liked that content. But picking up the loot was awful. Harbinger. Harbinger is the thing I'm thinking of. That was gonna bother me. Yeah, Harbinger was awful on the hand. Only problem I have is the organization and pickups. Yeah. Okay. We're about to get into mana stacking. Let's go. I wonder. I'm trying to think if there are any gloves that I would want on this build. Good Shaper's Touch are what I'm going to probably use, but I was trying to think if there would be any that I would want to see if I could get a vestigial version of, but I don't think there is.
A dead man and a living machine. There's your truth, heretic.
If they made it so we can use mouse and keyboard, we'd be unstoppable. True. But that would only be true until they gave us WASD, which is not going to happen anytime soon. But I can dream. Because WASD fixes everything. We want conductivity. because we're going to be doing lightning damage. WASD would make it all better. Yeah, I love WASD. It's one of my favorite things about PoE 2. Like, the rest of the game is okay and has gotten much better over time. WASD, by far my favorite thing. Like, if I could get Herald of Thunder as it exists in PoE 1 into PoE 2 with WASD, it would be over. Oh right. Totally forgot what I was doing. PoE 2 we can use both, yeah, but I never do. I just use WASD. Hot swapping I don't think works yet though. Like you can't controller onto and then switch to mouse and keyboard. I thought PoE 2 crossplay, I don't remember. Can you get much higher? Not sure what you mean. The song? Oh, okay. I'm not great at references. Or maybe my references are just too niche. It's okay. I appreciate it. All right. Okay, excellent. Made a block build for my mage. Block is such a nice, like, mechanic to use. It was really good to really bad. Oh, like, while it was blocking, it was great. When it doesn't block, you died immediately. Kind of thing. Basically, yeah. That is one reason I do not like Svalin. Svalin gives you a really good chance to block, but that 7% chance, so many of those builds just fall over. Not all. Some of them are still good, but I don't know. I much prefer a Shaper shield that has recover on block. Not gonna lie. I think we go up through Shaper into Forethought. I need to rework my build and start over. I mean, go for it. Again, it always helps me to pull it into POB and play around with it, see how it feels. And it's usually pretty easy to do that, as long as you get your profile set up on console. I think you can still do it. Because POB, you pull your profile based on your account. Kind of hard to do that. I mean, you can't do it on console, but you can hop over to a computer. BRB. Okay, perfect. Okay. Over here. Okay, we need to take down Gravicius. I think that's it. Okay. Risius down. Do you have anything crazy? Nope. Okay, you're not worth it. Okay, good. Okay. Wrong way. Ease, welcome back. There it is.
Your conviction drives you, heretic. But have you thought what it might drive others to do in return?
It's rough. Nothing wrong with that.
Damn you!
What do we have the tools for? Let's see what you got here. Okay. Yeah, so your average hit isn't the worst for where you're at in the game. Good chance 21%. You have a ton of block. Fast speed, mana efficiency. Do you have a way? Okay, I don't see a way for you to gain power charges off the top of my head. Let's see. All right, GMP returning cruelty. Cruelty does nothing for you. Cruelty does nothing. I think drop GMP for now because you start with 4 projectiles anyway. And added chaos, which that's gonna be what? Let's go 5 for now. Let's just say it's 5. So yeah, removing GMP, adding added chaos, and then maybe unleash. Again, will be like level 5. That'll give you a lot of burst damage. Power charges from block. Okay. I would wait on the power charges until you can get a better source. Because your block chance is really good, but power charges, I think, are like what? Okay, power charge when you block. Okay, so you do have an okay source of power charges. Let's see. This Chaos Mastery is doing nothing for you. Because you're doing no physical damage. And then if you grab Serpent Stance, which is 3 levels, you go to 19.8k average hit and 4,000 burst damage. So those are the things I would change for now. You can also probably drop all of these. Let's see, cast speed, mana efficiency. Unless you really need this mana efficiency, like a lot, maybe drop this. And then your Chaos Golem is only giving you resistances. I have no way of getting mana back besides flasks. Okay. Replace your Chaos Golem with a Lightning Golem. Instead of Chaos Golem, do a Lightning Golem. Because your Chaos Golem is only giving you Chaos Res. The damage over time multi doesn't do anything for you because you're not doing damage over time. So do that with a Lightning Golem. Lightning Golem gives you a ton of mana regen. You can also grab this for recovery on block. I've been crying for help, but I finally got help. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, that's what I would do, is I'd probably just drop that for now. Grab this over here. Switch your Chaos Golem to a Lightning Golem, and then switch your supports. Take off GMP. Do added Chaos and Unleash instead of GMP and the other one you had. And I think that'll feel better. Hard to say. Despair is good. Yeah, and then as you level up, grab Arcane Potency. When you get a 5 link, probably worth grabbing Power Charge on crit. It's not a ton of damage like immediately, and then you go in here and you go Power Charge. I don't know if that Power Charge and crit is worth it. It might be better still to just do maybe Arcane Surge. I don't know. Hard to say. But yeah, as you level up Soul Rend of Reaping, you're going to do a lot more damage. Like, levels make a huge difference. So at level 7, you're at 3200. You go to 3600 with 1 level. Even with this is a 5 link, if you go up to level 18, you're at 33k average damage, 29k full DPS. That's with a super scuffed setup. Returning projectiles might not be worth it. I do get it though, because it feels really good to play with. Yeah, that's where I would start. I don't think I care about most of these.
Watch yourself.
You quiet. And have fun elsewhere.
Just need more Orbs of Regret. You can go to, let's see, should be 1 person in each area, I think. Yeah, so Maramora here, or I don't know how to say her name. Anyway, respec, and it allows you to respec for gold. So whichever NPC lets you gamble for items has a respec option, and you can respec for gold. I'm pouring money. Fair. At least that one though, you can farm up in the areas you're in, because it's fairly cheap to respec early on in the game. On that note, 67 decks. I think I'm gonna need a brutal restraint in this build. I accidentally lost all my money from liquidating divines. Yeah, that'll happen. That will happen. But again, lower level characters are very cheap to respec. Farming floor 5 to get my money back. Keep in mind the league mechanic is a really good source of gold. The Merc? No, All Flame. These things right over here. So you need to pay them? I'm not talking about the Merc. I'm talking about these. There are these kinds of things in every single map. And they give you the charts. The charts are really good for gold. Like running the charts. Start using them? Yeah. Because you'll find clams that you can open up in there. And the clams drop a bunch of gold.
Exile has tested you, my brother. Now let's see what God has to say. Submit, heretic!
Okay.
Have you ever seen the true face of God, Exile? The light of divinity! Shrink not from God! The touch of God! world is an
All
illusion,
right.
Exile. By exiling me, you were
Excellent.
and now here I stand, countless miles and murders later. May these waters wash away my sins and baptize me anew. I was born into this land, delivered to this task.
Let's grab this dexterity. Which I think will allow me to do. Nope. I thought I'd have enough. Like I need more dexterity.
Must have time to gather my will.
Okay. I feel like Echo would be better than Surge. Arcane Surge gives you the ability to recover mana a little better. Which is why I thought it might be nice. But up to you. Okay. Okay, these give me some dexterity. Hmm. Okay. We now have Bladefall. Do Bladefall here. Even though these gloves are terrible. We'll do these gloves. Let's see. What do we want on Bladefall?
Yes.
Not sure yet. Should I get rid of my holy totem or should I keep it so I don't get curses on me? Up to you. I usually don't use it unless I'm building around it, but that doesn't mean that's the right choice. I like to minimize the amount of buttons I'm pressing. Okay, fizz to lightning. Arcane Surge and could do Living Lightning, I suppose. Okay, if we remove Living Lightning, how's that? Where does that put us? Still down. Ooh. Okay. So in order to support that, we're gonna need the mana cost reduction. No big deal.
See ya.
I'm sorry, God. We must learn not to abuse your creations.
Okay. Okay, good. Just thought of what I want in that other spot. Where is it at? Blade Blast. Okay. All right, let me open this up and we'll go ascend. I think we might start with Arcane Surge first. Yeah. Act 3. All right, let's see how this goes. Okay, good. Okay. Do totems count as minions? No. Wait, maybe. Let me look it up. Because now I don't remember. Totems. Totems summoned by skills are not party members or minions. So no, they are not minions. Okay, gotta go the other way. Well, this was the wrong way. Does minion offense mastery work for me? No. Only increases and reductions to minion damage, like that exact wording, work for you. Okay. Okay, good.
Finish this. You are relentless. I die for the Empire.
Okay. Not too bad. Going Hierophant. And let's see. Arcane Surge is increased mana regen rate. Okay, not worth immediately, I don't think. I think we're gonna go mana first. Because we want Sanctuary of Thought as soon as possible. Random Transfigure, let's go. Fire, Lightning Golem of Hordes, yeah. I don't love any of these. Okay. Alright, refund that. Grab that. Okay, pretty close. Okay. Refund these. Mana cost efficiency. Let's see, is that enough? Not quite. So that's enough for now, but it won't be forever. Should I use Arcane Capacitor instead of Arcane Surge? What is Arcane Capacitor? Don't know what that is. Okay, yes. Yes, you can use Arcane Capacitor instead of the Arcane Surge gem. However, if you are using Arcane Capacitor, it makes a lot of sense to use the Arcane Surge gem anyway, because it gives you more damage. And so what happens is the more damage from the Arcane Surge gem scales with Arcane Surge effect. So 20% effective Arcane Surge, 20% effective Arcane Surge, 10% of Arcane Surge per 200 mana spent recently, up to 50%. So you have 90% Arcane Surge effect if you spend 1,000 mana in 4 seconds. Which means the 20 more damage you get from the Arcane Surge gem is nearly doubled to 40. Again, assuming you spend 1,000 mana in 4 seconds. Okay. Interesting. I thought that would stick a little while longer. Let's see. We could get regular cost efficiency, which would apply to both. Or we could go grab Arcane Surge ourselves, which I think is the right play. Wait, no. .17 mana per second. Yeah, my mana per second should be fine. Why is it not fine? Oh, I know why. I know why. It's because of my Righteous Fire. The Righteous Fire is dealing damage to me constantly. 10% of the damage that I take is coming from my mana now. Oh, you know what I can do? You know what I can do? we can use clarity. Do we have precision on here? We're not using precision. Clarity is very good for us. Then we just need to level it up a little bit and we're good. Okay. Alright, we're net positive on mana now. Not by much, but we're doing it. I vaguely remember soon having a Foulborn version. I think I made it a bit better. Nice. Let me see. Yes, much better. Like right away. And you get so one thing to note here is that spiritual command is good, but it is not helping your soul rent at all. Someone give me 50 orbs of regret. Nice. But yeah, so spiritual command is not helping your soul rend. The reason being is spiritual command is increases in reductions to minion attack speed also affect you, which means you're scaling your attack speed, which does not help your soul rend. Now it does help. Well, I was gonna say it helps field charge. So if you want speed, then shield charge does benefit. But otherwise you're not gaining anything out of there. You can see right here, no benefit, sadly. So you can drop those because those aren't helping you at all unless you're doing attacks. And then this is giving you 20% increased damage, but is not giving you the attack and cast speed. So maybe worth for the damage because you're still getting damage out of it. Other than that, I think it looks good. Yeah, you can save yourself 3 points right there. And you can use those. Let's see, your 19% crit chance. Let's see. Let's see what your best 3 points are. I suspect it's going to be Arcane Potency. Okay, it's the staff mastery, or it's the staff right here. And it's because of the staff mastery. So it says that the best thing for you is this chaos mastery. This one right here, level of all chaos. However, this has a really bad downside of lose 10% life in ES when you use a chaos skill. So every time you cast, you would lose 10%. To me, that's not worth it. So I would ignore that. But this would be, I think, your next step. This right here alone brings you up another 200 average hit. Brings you to 4k from 3.7. Then you grab this to 4.4, and then you can grab this. And you could grab this strike multi if you haven't dealt a critical strike recently. I don't love this. I think it's better going recover on block. So that would be my next step. Oh, right. Yeah, we're gonna go energy blade. So Dune doesn't help us. Okay. Okay. Okay, good. Okay. That, I think, handles that. Okay, good stuff. And good. Okay. I think I might go Vile Bastion, Forbidden Power, Profane Bloom, Unholy Authority. Vile Bastion, yes, is incredibly good. Like, insanely good. Forbidden Power, also insanely good. And he said Unholy Authority and Profane Bloom. Withering Presence is really hard to drop in that pool. I think unless you're going power charge stacking, I would go Vile Bastion, Void Beacon, Withering Presence, Profane Bloom. But that's my opinion, not necessarily correct. An additional curse is not going to make up for inflicting Wither for free, basically. Withering Presence does nothing for me in the long run. Are you doing chaos damage in the long run? Because if you stop doing chaos damage, then sure. But if you're planning on doing chaos damage the entire time, Wither is incredibly good.
The air here burns with wrath.
Yeah, think of Wither like Shock, but it's specifically for chaos damage. So enemies can have 15 stacks of Wither. Each stack of Wither makes enemies take 6% increased chaos damage. And so the way the calculations work on that is because it's on the enemy and it's increasing damage they take, if you don't have any other sources of increased damage taken, like Shock, then it is a more damage multiplier. I'm going to be power charge stacking. Okay, so it might be better then to just keep going power charges. I'm lagging. Yeah. Yeah, it might be better to go power charge stacking if that's what you want to do. If you're power charge stacking, I think your plan makes sense. Just know that Wither is very valuable. If you might have to find another source of Wither for your build. Which you can use Wither totems if you want to.
This is neither the time nor the place.
That was unfortunate. Yeah, so Wither is a spell. And you can use spell totems to apply Wither. That's the thing, yeah. Maybe I go up this way? I'm not sure.
I must have time to gather will.
Can you stack abilities on totems? I think you can. However, they are going to round robin on whatever abilities they have. So it is not great to do that. So if you're, I think you're currently using curses on them. I would just self-cast the curse, because you only need to cast the curse once, and you only need to cast the curse on big enemies. So I would just switch that to self-cast and get them to wither. Alternatively, you get a despair on hit. Like some source of despair on hit. Oh, right, because you want it for explosions. Yeah, so okay, then you definitely want wither on hit, or despair on hit. Totally forgot about that. Yeah, so you want you can either get gloves with a corruption of despair on hit, or you can do a ring with despair on hit. But yeah, for explosions, you're definitely going to want despair on hit. Or really any curse on hit. Is it expensive to do that? Usually no. So, let's see. You can get it on a weapon if you have Hunter Influence. Or as an implicit on any unique glove is really cheap. So any unique glove you can think of, you can probably get despair on hit on it. And then for rings, they're not terribly expensive to just get a really bad ring with it. If you want a fractured ring, it is 2 div. And that means you can craft on it and get whatever you want. But this would be your end game solution. And what makes this even better is things that explode are going to hit the things around them, which means those hits will apply curses and therefore be able to like propagate explosions. So you can like chain together explosions with just a curse on hit ring. That's level 83 right now. Again, start with the gloves. Start with a pair of gloves that are corrupted. I'll do that later. Most of the gloves you can get going right now. Or you can grab a pair of Azanaths, which Azanath's Gentle Touch is a unique set of gloves that has temp chains on hit, like already put in it, and it requires level 25. And they're super cheap. Does Unholy Might even work for me? Let me check. Configuration, Unholy Might. No. Wait, sort of. Unholy Might physical damage conversion will not work because you're not doing physical damage. However, Unholy Might chance to apply Wither will work. I don't need to hit enemies with the staff. No. Unholy Might doesn't work on only attacks. Unholy Might is any hit, which includes your spells.
I survived the House Cater broke me.
On block? Okay, then you still just need to, like, whenever you have it, you'll be able to apply Wither. Just keep in mind that's not going to be a good source of Wither on boss fights. I don't need Wither. Okay. Then I wouldn't worry about it, because the Fizz to Chaos conversion doesn't do anything for you. You don't deal Fizz damage.
You see, heretic, my god takes good care of me.
Okay.
I may have misjudged that god of yours.
Are we gonna do something like Super Totems? Yeah, I think it's the best option. The only other option that's really good is there's a jewel that allows you to wither on hit if you've cast Despair recently. So you would have to self-cast Despair. But it's really good. Righteous Fire with Poison Rain. What? If you're talking about what I'm doing right now, I'm doing RF, and also I have Bladefall of Trarthus. And I'm just doing it to level. It's called Bladefall of Trarthus.
Beauty shall prevail. Give into grace.
You were imprisoned by your own vanity, Chevron.
Okay.
Embrace death, Doylery, for your flesh is your undoing.
Okay.
God-given talents were wasted.
Okay.
I actually find myself admiring you in this moment, Templar. You and I will create the most beautiful of nightmares together. Rather the hallmark of God, isn't it? Let me show you what a real God can do.
Now, Exile.
What?
Now, Exile.
Okay.
Now, let us see if you truly understand what it means to be Nightmare. Accept the gift of
Where'd you go?
Accept the gift of immortality. Nightmare is the true eternal. Why are you so in love with death? You are being selfish.
Okay. Excellent.
You fought against death your whole life, Malaka.
What will be remembered?
Until next time.
This is neither the time nor the place.
You're going to. Of course.
Let's go ahead and put that right there. What do we have here? I think we want Spellblade.
No love again.
And I guess Lightning Golem for now. I don't think I'm gonna need it, but oh, we can use Mind Spiral. Sweet.
This is neither the time nor the place.
Okay, so we get Mind Spiral. You can use Blade Blast, Arcane Surge, or wait, no, 38. Level 38 will switch from Arcane Surge to not Arcane Surge. Fist of Lightning and Bladefall of Trarthus. With a gold room in there. How much are Alborn Kikazarus? Cannot be ignited is pretty nice. Can I get an all res? All elemental resistance implicit 2 div. Okay, well, if I'm gonna pay 2 div, can I get? I guess not. Okay, 2 div for a 10 attribute. Or whatever. Okay. Purity of elements is blue. We'll use that for now. Okay. Okay. 176 fire res. Yeah. Sadly, we now have too much. Hmm. Is it still okay if I do that? Barely. Just barely. Bees balls. All right, so here's what we can do. We can see how we perform with just Bladefall. Okay. It is simply okay. Hmm. So, something we could do is go ahead and start moving into. Try Purity of Fire for the max fire res. It would work, yeah. But I'm trying to figure out if I want to do that or if I just want to switch over. Because I could just grab Energy Blade, I think. Yeah, I think we might just do that. We might just switch over to Energy Blade. We're gonna grab that right there.
My return marks judgment.
What are we shipping today? Business.
We want Gamble. Random one-handed. And then rather than Arcane Surge, we do Spellblade. We go from 456 to 465. What an increase. Four to 98. I mean, not great for sure. Means we no longer need this though. I forget the name of it, but there's a support gem that does what Battle Mage does, pretty much. It's Spellblade. It is Spellblade. Alright, let's see if this works at all. Oh, don't want to do that. Wait. I'm sustaining now? Why am I sustaining now? Oh, I think I understand why. The pyre was giving me... Okay. We're sustaining, but just barely. Alright, well that'll work. I was thinking of what I was doing last league. Yeah. That is the overall plan. I don't know how like far it's gonna go, but right now the plan is Energy Blade mana stack with like Ivory Tower and Shaper's Touch. I don't know how far I'm gonna go to that. I just want to experiment with it. Okay. All right, not too bad. Okay. % ES regen is not worth it at the moment. Okay. Might be worth seeing about a Watcher's Eye with the ES gain as base on mana. It's cheap and decent for leveling and mapping early. I didn't realize it would be cheap. Let's see, buy Clarity. And as extra ES. Let's see if we can get a good 2 mod. I doubt it, but could be. This is extra. Ooh. Not the worst for it, yeah. How much are 10s? Let's see. Haste, Hatred, Grace, Hatred, Malevolence, Wrath.
It seems every dog has his day.
There we go. Good call. All right, now the real question is, yeah, that puts us over the edge. Okay, next question is, what level is Fate of the Vow? Fate. Oh wait, is it not Fate of the Vow? No, it's Rebuke of the Vow. 64. I don't know if I'll end up using that though. Something I always do when I make a twink just to find a decent washer's eye. Makes sense. Okay. Alright, I think we can mess around with some stuff. So clarity over here, vitality over here, and then we're gonna go purchase arrogance. Go. Petrified blood. Okay, so I still don't sustain, but that massively improves my hull damage. Let's do without RF, see how that feels. Oh, you know what I should have done? I should have done Wrath. That would have been smart.
Templar initiates will suffer your humiliations no longer. I vowed before my brothers that I would return, and so I have.
All right. I think for the time being, I'd actually do this. Go for the max res over here. Okay.
The hour of judgment draws near.
Okay, excellent. Get a Valor view? Oh no. Scuffed enough as is. Okay. Okay. Good stuff. Right. Okay. Okay. Get out of here.
You don't stand it. Clock's ticking. Not the first.
Max fire res. We are finally regenerating health.
You deserve recognition. Once, remember, we do this for freedom.
Okay, let me do that one. That should tide us over for a while. Alright, I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be right back, and then we'll finish out Act 5. All right. We are back. Let's finish out the rest of this. All right. Is it cool if I Valor Review? And I suppose.
I continue to serve as God's instrument.
Okay. +1 all spells is gonna look nice, trust.
Your ilk will suffer my wrath for what you have done.
Okay. Go get the torments, and then I think we're done, right? Pretty close, yeah. Torments, then town, then Kintava. Since I'm already over here. Go ahead and grab Corrupt Blood Immunity. Okay.
Must have time to gather will.
Maybe we can get a good shield. think I'll take it. Okay. Um, yeah, that's fine. Should I use Blasphemy on Despair and then use Spell Totem for Wither? You can do that, but that is a pretty significant amount of reservation. Again, just buy a cheap Despair on hit. Okay. All right. I think one more. There we go.
The flame of hope may flicker, but it cannot be extinguished.
this point, I probably have to give up on RF. Oh, maybe not.
Has my faith truly been a lie?
It seems to be okay.
Despite farewell.
The truth of this world comes into
Stay sharp.
Let's see. Nope, we're still maintaining. Okay.
It is my honor to cleanse it of evil.
Oh, maybe we don't. Okay.
I'll never wear chains again, Caton or otherwise. Choose quickly. Go. I won't stop you.
Okay. Not too bad. All right, we want automation and arcane cloak. It doesn't matter right now.
This is neither the time nor the place.
Made any progress?
Okay. Good stuff. Let's see, what do we have for unique gloves? Asenath is actually not bad. And it's got a nice amount of life and mana. About belts, do we have any good belts? Not really, but that's alright. Rot Mothers is definitely a possibility. It won't be an end game amulet for sure. I'm gonna need something with mana on it. Okay. Okay, not bad. All right, let's see how this feels.
I return to exile, humble and shaken.
Okay, good stuff.
Come here, quickly.
Deal in introductions. Just air count.
Okay. Oof. Already floor 7. I'm gonna X6. Not quite 7. Hmm. good. What are those gloves called? Azanath's Gentle Touch. Hardcore, softcore, softcore. Yep, no problem.
Ah, your body has survived my gift.
The world crumbles. I must gather the pieces.
Okay, good stuff. Oof. Alright. This time, no RF.
Chief Turtle Beach just redeemed hydrate.
Yo, thanks. Much appreciated. I get to finish off my coffee.
Chief Turtle Beach just redeemed posture check.
And we good. I've actually been doing pretty good about posture recently. Every now and then I'll catch myself folded up like a pretzel in my chair. need this to be a little faster. Which should come with energy shield. Or not energy shield, mana. All right, there we go. That took a while.
It seems I am but a pawn in a clash of gods.
Okay. Alright, so you're asking how I was doing the surfboard. It is a microtransaction. In maps. Nice. Yeah, so the microtransaction for that is footprints, and it's called Monolithic Skating Boots Modifier. Alright, I think that is going to do it for tonight. Pretty good progress. We need so much more mana. It's still a long way to go. They're growing at a good pace though.
Your coffers are looking plump indeed.
Let's see, 592.
Pack my things up, make some pit stop. Came back from being down 1-3. Pack my
Next Ascendancy, we grab a bunch more mana. And max mana as max ES. And regen. That should be good. And some more mana cost efficiency, which will be nice. And then we'll need to head over to Heart of Thunder. There are rings that give you power charges and boots. Yes. there are quite a few items that give you power charges, or max power charges. Alright, I think it's gonna do it for today. Been fun. Hopefully we get pretty far with this build. I have high hopes for it. I don't expect it to be like crazy damage, but I think Blade Blast is gonna carry the damage later on, where Bladefall of Trarthus just needs to be able to clear well. Should be pretty nice. All right. Well, that's going to do it for today. Thank you all so much for joining me. It's been a blast. We should be back online on Saturday, and between now and then, hopefully I get the motivation to finish up the build video for our last build, because I still have yet to post that final video. So yeah, I will see everybody on Saturday. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.